going to have a little go at making a macro. File, open. And if we go to the desktop, I think I've already started making a folder for them to go into. Right, yes, that's okay. Let's pick on Desna. Open Desna. Okay, so here's his Desna's pictures, and we're going to use that for making our macro. Okay, so let's go up here, and what we need now is just make a macro. So if we go to View, Studio, and then across to Macro. And this is how we record a macro. But where we're going to record our macro to, we need to know that. So let me show you how we do that. So we go View, Studio, Library, and here's a library. Here we press this down. These are some that have come already with the program. We turn that back off and we go to the library. I've already made a folder, but what you do is you can go up here and click on this and you can create a new category. But I've already done that and I've called my category Watermark 2022. Okay, so that's already there waiting for us to put our new macro in. So I'm going to turn the library off because that's quite annoying having it on there as well. So let's go up here and go View, Studio, and the library. This is the way you have to turn it off, by the way. Okay, so now we're back to macro. So let's center Desna in the picture. So that's 0, we're in, Control and 0, and now we've got Desna waiting to be copyright. So what we do now is we press Start Recording. Now we need to go and get our watermark. So we're going to place it over the top. So there we go. We know we put it into Documents, into Affinity, and it's there. Watermark 2022, 9000 pixels. Okay, and press Open. Now what we can do is drag it over the top of Desna until she's covered. Now to make sure it looks nice and centered over her, we go up here as we've done before, we center it that way and then we center it that way. So now it's definitely centered over the top of Desna. Okay, and we apply. That is now done in here. So what we need to do now is, we can't see Desna very well, can we? So what we need to do is we need to go up here and we need to change this blend mode to screen. There we go. Now we can see Desna. But actually I think that's looking a little bit strong at that. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it down a little bit. So let's go and turn it down. I think about 30% I like, but I mean this is all up to your own personal choice of how you want it to look and how much you want it to stand out. So I think I like about 30%. That just shows me you still see the picture but you know it's there. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Yep, definitely happy with that. So I can get my hand tool and have a look. Now I can use my scroll key and zoom in, and you can see it says copyright 2022, and it's quite nice. It's not in your face but it's there. Okay, and you can still enjoy the picture. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to stop recording, and that's our macro made. Now what we need to do is we need to save it. So we go up here. Here you can see if we've done it wrong we can reset it. But we're going to just add it to the library. Yes, add to library. Now then, where was it? We want to name it Watermark 2022. And we've made a category for it, didn't we? Watermark 2022 in there, and we press OK. And now we've got a 4-step macro already in there for when we need to use it. Okay, so that's all done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to close this out, close this down. I don't want to save the changes to Desna because I don't want to leave them on, so press no and off we go. Let's turn this off as well. Go to View, Studio and Macro. If I go to, oh, you can see the library here, you can see where it's in the library as a watermark. Right, let's go back to View, turn off the library because we don't need that showing either. Off, okay. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make a load of batch photographs. Let me show you first what I've done. Here I've made a file called Batch for Watermarks, which I've put on my desktop, and I put in these two files, Desna. So you can see this is my PC, and I've gone into Desktop, and I've made a file on there, Batch for Watermark, and I put in these two files to start off with, so I can show you how they work. And I've also made a file for where I'm going to place the photographs when the watermark's been added. So these have been completed and they're in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So we close this back down. So what we need to do is we need to go and do File, New Batch Job. So we've now got to add our files. Now you've seen where I've put the files. So we go to Desktop, Batch for Watermark, and then we highlight the files that I've done, and we press Open, and it puts those two files in there ready to do. Now this is where it gets interesting. You must make sure you do this so you've got a copy saved. So you want to save them into something. So we're going to save them into the completed watermarks folder that we made earlier. So open that up, that's where it's going to go, and we press Select Folder. So now it's going to be saved into the watermark completed folder when they're done. So what we need to do now is we need to find the macro we've done. We know we didn't save it in the defaults, so we saved it in the watermark 2022, didn't we? And there it is. Now this won't be applied to anything unless we manage to put it in here. But first of all, we don't want to save it as an Affinity photo. We want to save it as a JPEG because that'll be easier for you to upload if you want to upload it to some website. Okay, so save as a JPEG, and we're going to put the watermark on it. So that's what we're going to do. So we have to tell it we want to apply it, and then to land in this one, this box this side, so where we're going to apply it. Okay, so these are the photographs we're going to apply it to, and this is what we're going to apply. Okay, so let's press OK and see what happens. Here you can see the wheels going round. That was quick, wasn't it? And those two have both been done. Okay, now what we need to do is go and have a look, see what's happened. So go back up here to File Explorer, Desktop, Batch for Watermark. Now here we've got our pictures of Desna and the drone again, so let's have a look. Let's double click on Desna and see what it looks like. There, we've not altered it, Desna's still the same, no watermark on her, just how we wanted it. And click on the next one, and the drone's fine as well, that's got no watermark on it. But hopefully inside our completed watermark folder we should have the two with the watermarks on. So let's click on Desna again here, and you can see Desna's now got the watermark on her. And if we go to the next one, and the drone's got the watermark on that one as well. So there they are, all done. Well, I hope that's been helpful. So it's a good idea to set up your folders where you're going to put things before you start, so you know exactly where everything is and how you want it to go. You could of course always put it into the same folder, but I always find it's hard to distinguish which ones they are, so they're better in a separate folder altogether and you know where they are. Okay, thank you.